Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to God knows how many episodes this is and what season it is. I'll put that in somewhere. I think it's been 3 months since my last confession. So, yeah, it has been a crazy bit of time here, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But welcome to those that are coming back, and welcome to those that are new. Help me out on my channel. Go ahead and subscribe, like, notifications, all that crazy happy horse shit. Yeah, hi. Today's cup and just drinking a cup of tea. It's a Saturday, April 1st, so April Fool's Day. No fool, I'm here. And I have a lot to talk about, but I haven't been crafting much, which is kind of crazy because I have a lot to show. Been working on a lot. I haven't finished a lot, let's put it that way. So grab your cuppa. It's going to be a long one. I guess start as we always start with finished objects. So if I can pull this out, my first finished object is a crochet hexagon cardigan, and very simple crochet. I did knit around the outside of it. It starts off as 2 hexagons. You add to the back to make it a full back. You combine those 2 hexagons. You then add to the sleeves that were formed by the hexagons, which I'll be showing you on another that I'm still working on. And then I picked up for the edging, I did ribbing. And this is done in Lion Brand Yarn Mandala Ombre, and I believe it's 100% acrylic. It is. It washes and dries beautifully. I wanted something that I could throw in the washer, go out and take care of whatever I'm taking care of, throw it in the washer and the dryer and be done. I do have 2, almost 3 skeins left of this. And so out of a partial skein after doing the hexagon cardi, and I did it pretty much to pattern, and I'll try and link the YouTube video that I did it off of. It's very simple, goes on like a dream. It's rather warm in my house today, as you can see by the thermostat right behind me. But it fits well, goes on, looks really nice. We got pictures out by the lake on base with it, so I'll try and throw in a couple pictures. Never sure where they're going to end up. I just edit as I can edit. And yeah, I like it. Pair of jeans. I didn't put any pockets on this one, but I will talk about another when I get into whips. It's really an easy wear. So the other thing I made, and I didn't bring my teapot over, but I made out of my leftovers, I made a teapot cozy. So you just set it on top, the lid in and out, but it keeps the teapot warm while my tea is steeping and while I'm sipping my first cup so I can have my second. I just did a Jacob's ladder. So you crochet, I think it's 6, and then do a 10 stitch chain, and you do that continuously back and forth for each side, and then you chain it up, and then you attach at the top and bottom. And it's a free pattern out there. It's called Jacob's Ladder. It originally had like a flower on the top. I didn't want the flower on the top. So just so I can pick up, I just have a white teapot, so it goes in. And as you can see, I started with this side, finished on that side. So the ombre's going on there. And it's nice. It goes over the teapot. It's washable. If something gets spilled on it, it's real easy. But both of these I have finished in the last 2 weeks. I had minimal crafting time in the last 2 months, and that has now increased a little bit. So these are the only finished objects that I have since January. You know, that's not true. I did crochet up, I might have shown it on the last episode, but I did crochet up a pocket scarf, and I gave that to a lady at work. But I guess you could say, I'm going to put this on the floor because I have so much to talk about. Yes, you could say that this is a finished object, but it's really just the beginning of an object. So this takes us into my work in progress. The first thing I'm going to talk about is spinning. I got back 29 pounds of rambouillet. That was the rambouillet that I sent off to Michigan from the lady that I met in Belle Fourche. I sent off 75 pounds. I got back 29 pounds. It's not bad. Little less than half, but that's okay. It was really dirty fleece, so I expected that. And this has been sitting in the skein, so it will probably spin a little bit. Nope, that's a good 2-ply weight, and it's about a DK across the board. I'm really happy with it. That's my first skein. I think there's about 300 and something yards in here. And I have been working up. I have another bobbin over in my holder, so I'm not going to pull that out, but that one has 8 ounces on it. This one has about 2.5 ounces on it so far. Let me pull it off. I'm doing this on my Hansen, and so it's coming out rather nice. And that's the same weight going across. This fiber, I wound up selling off 10 pounds of it to a friend that has a yarn store. And I chained up 4 ounces, so I have about 2 ounces here. And it is amazingly soft, and this champagne color is just gorgeous. And it spins like butter pours. It is so easy to spin. The draft on this is just phenomenal to just pull it. It is wonderfully comb top. I had it done at Stonehenge Fiber Mill in East Jordan, Michigan. And they're the same, that's where shepherd's wool is processed from their sheep. And I'm very, very happy with this, very happy. I want to say it took 4 or 5 months to get it back, which I wasn't in a hurry, no worries at all. When they contacted me about getting it sent, I was actually out of state at that time. Sarge and I went for our anniversary. We went to Las Vegas, and my cat sitter housekeeper thing, I know her well, but whatever you want to call it, she brought the boxes in, and when she pulled up, she said, "Oh my gosh, those are huge boxes. How am I going to get it in?" Because she's 5 foot nothing and just itty bitty. And then she lifted it up, and she's like, "Oh, these are so light." So the boxes were, I want to say they were a good 3 feet tall, and at least 16 inches square. And really good size. And she brought them in. They were in the living room when we got home, and the cats had decided that they wanted to sniff every bit of it, and you could see where their little claw marks were, that they wanted to get into it because it still smelled sheepy. And I immediately pulled out, this one was actually spun on my ladybug, and I pulled it out the next week, and I got this done, and it is it is next to skin soft, and it is wonderful. And this has been washed, it's been plumped. I have actually done up I had a second bit of it, and I did up a bit of a swatch. I didn't bring it over, but I will be very happy with a sweater out of this. And so I sent some off to a friend, and I sold some off, and the rest is going to be mine. I'm going to do one in the natural, and then I don't know if I'm going to dye any of it. I may, but right now I'm very happy with the results. And so that is an ongoing process. So it's a work in progress, but also a finished object. If you get it, every skein is its own finished object. I am doing that as a short forward draw and just enjoying the process. So it's a worsted prep, and it's a worsted spun. So the prep, I mean, is combed. And by combed, if you're new to spinning, is if you take a plate of spaghetti. The spaghetti before it's cooked is combed. So it's all in the same way to go. And my phone is blowing up. Hi! But so all of your strands, all of your fibers are going in the same direction. So it's like combed hair. And then you have, that is a worsted prep. And the reason it is called a worsted prep is because when you smooth it forward, it's going to come out as a shiny, smooth yarn. And all of the fibers are still going to be going in the same direction, even though they're twisted. And then you have a woolen prep, and the woolen prep is the plate of spaghetti after it's been cooked. So it's all stirred up together. And you have some going left and some going right and some going curly, and yeah, the whole bit. And that is normally spun. You can spin it with a short forward draw or a short backwards draw, but normally that is spun in a long draw for a woolen prep. So it's a woolen prep in a woolen yarn, which adds more air into the yarn. And, you know, both are very good. Worsted is really good for stitch definition, cables, popping. Woolen is soft, airy, but warm. It traps air. You're not really going to get a great Aran sweater out of a woolen prep because the cables are not going to pop. You can do it, but the cables are going to sink back in. The texture isn't going to be there. If you really just want to do a nice, easy, you can do color work with it, or you can, but it's going to be a soft color work because of the stitch definition, or just a stockinette is really great in a woolen prep. So when I'm spinning, I have to look at what am I going to be doing out of it. So well, I can do a stockinette sweater out of a worsted prep, but I can also do cable, or I could do lace, and it's going to hold its tension. Now I am doing a spinner's yarn, which is a 2-ply instead of doing a 3 or a 4-ply. So I probably will not be doing cables because it's not a round enough yarn, but I will look at doing something with possibly some lace work or possibly just straight stockinette. And for me, spinning is zen. Spinning is what makes me relax. And in the last couple months, the stress that I've been under, I just needed something that I could kick back, be happy, and relax. And so that's what I did. It's what's making me happy right now. So that's what I have going. But I have other things going on now that I've yammered on about spinning. So this whole side is nothing but works in progress and acquisitions. And it's been 3 months. Yes, I buy things. So yes, there are acquisitions. So let's get into the works in progress. If you're wondering where I got the cup, Smartass and Sass. So cute cup, cute sayings, and just I've been a member for a while. So in my, do not snag that. as it pulls from a different project. In my queen bee bag, which since we've talked, I think I got my bees. Since we talked, I got my queen bee, and I have my 2 bees. And I'm wearing a bracelet that says comparison is the thief of joy. It's one of my go-to quotes from Teddy Roosevelt. And this was made up by Tracy. I think it's Knit the Gospel, but I'll put it either down or on the screen, however I can do it. So anyways, in the queen bee bag, which is actually a pencil bag that I picked up, but I love it for socks, I have almost half a sock, because I haven't put the heel in because I don't know who the recipient is. But this was one of my advents. I don't even know if I have the name of the dyer in here. Bad podcaster, no cookie. No name, but I can find it, I hope, on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen them. But I started up here and just did a slip one, knit one. When it comes to the changing of colors, as soon as they come to the color, then I just started the slip one no matter where I was in the round. I started the slip one, knit one. And then this came with the speckled yarn, and it came with 2 exact colors, and it's a rainbow happy. Somewhere in here I'll put in a heel once I figure out who these are going to. Took these to Las Vegas with us. I am doing them up on Hiya size US 1.5, and I have started the second. I take these out and about. I haven't been going out and about much. And I am a DPN user. I prefer DPNs for socks, and I have that much left to go. It will look just like the other one. So I've been working on those for at least 2 months. I think I cast them on right before we got on the airplane to go to Vegas, the first weekend in February. So the next thing I want to talk about, what's in this bag? This is a pumpkin bag by, don't see a name, hold on, might be on the inside. No name, not that I see. But I've just started a hat. This is done in, let's see, Adria Fill by Knit Call. I think that's how you say that. And I'm working on size 4 Chiagos, and I'm just doing a hat. I have 2 balls of this, and so I'll do 1/2 going up and 1/2 coming down, stuff it inside, and Sarge will have a new hat. So this I started when I was at the hospital the other day in the waiting room, and I didn't have my socks with me. I don't know why I didn't bring my socks. But something new, spring, you know, maybe that's what that was, but that's going on. Then I guess this is a little bit of acquisition, a little bit of whips. I saw that Sweet Tea Yarns, I think that's Molly Klein Designs, put up her Rugrats colorway. And my kids were huge Rugrat fans, huge. We watched it every night when it was on. And it came with a bag, so I had to have it. And I love the handle. And it is Molly Klein Designs. That's her bag. But I didn't start the socks right off. That is, by the way, her sock yarn, which is 75-25 Sweet Sock with a Darling DK. Let's see. No, it's the Darling DK sock set. Nope, I lied. It is the Sweet Sock. 550 yards total with the mini. But in the bag, my nail tech, who is wonderful, is having a baby. So I pulled out some Williamstown by Valley yarn in color 08. It is a olive green with speckles. She said her favorite color is leaf green. So this was the greenest that I could find, and the baby's due in June. And so I wanted something that she'd be able to put on this little sweetheart of a little one that she is baking at this point in time. And so I'm pulling up on my, maybe, there we go. It is the Pearl Soho Pinwheel Baby Romper. Let's see. I use Note Shelf on my iPad. And it is this sweet little romper that I am making in the green. And I currently have one of the stars done. And then you leave 2 of the edges on spare yarn. And I am in process of knitting Chiagu size 2 needles. I'm in process of knitting the second star. And so one for the front, one for the back, and then you build the romper out. And I have that going. I did start them on double points. I needed the longer double points, so using the 6-inch that are wooden. Because all of my metal ones are only the 4 or 5-inch, and so I needed more than that for the amount of stitches to go across. And then once I got big enough, I went on to the magic loop. And so that is another project that I am working on, and hopefully that will be done by the end of April so I can get it to her, because I don't know if she'll be taking some time off before the baby is born. So yeah, what else? Lots and lots and lots. Let's look at this one. Let's clear off the table first before I go on to the stool. So this, in this bag, is I believe it's from Charming You. It's an advent calendar that I got at Christmas. And I'm going to be frank here, I'm probably not buying an advent calendar this year. I have 3 that I didn't touch last year. I didn't even finish opening them. So it's already April 1st and I haven't finished this one because I've been busy knitting. I was waiting for a 50-inch cord to come in, and now that I have that, I might be able to finish it because I have enough room to get it going. What I did was I cast on for a shawl that increases on both sides. So it increases 6 stitches every 2 rounds, 4 stitches on the right side, 2 stitches on the wrong side, or public or private side, however you want to say that. But this is currently almost, if I stretch it out, I was going to say, I think one side of it is currently almost 50 inches. And you're seeing the wrong side with all the tails, but I think it's 31 inches from tip to bottom. So started here with the colors, and it just keeps growing. And it's going to have all 24 colors, and I only have 4 more colors to go, so I'm down to a ball this size. It was in a cake and it fell apart, so we're into a ball now. And then the 25th day, there was a half skein, and so this, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to use, what pattern I'm going to use at the bottom. Am I just going to continue on in garter and maybe go down a size in needle, because I am using a size 9, and again the Chiagu. And I have changed my stitch marker to a heart for showing me the right side to wrong side, and a wine glass for showing me, where is it? There we go. This came in on a Sweet Mountain Crafts monthly, so I have the wine glass that is showing me which side I'm increasing 4 stitches on. And so I increase at the beginning, I increase on both sides of the stitch markers. In the middle of these, I'm just using the light bulb stitch markers to mark the center stitch, the spine. And I'm increasing 2 stitches before the end of the row. So 1 stitch on one side and 2 stitches here. And the reason is I'm just doing a knit front and back for each of my increases. And I'm doing that at the beginning and end on both rows. And so if I do it 2 in and then 1 in on the way back, it doesn't give the increase in the exact same stitch. It looks really good on the edging. And I like the way it's simple, you don't have to think about it. And I like the way it's making the spine. It looks like a 4-stitch spine, but it isn't. It's a 1-stitch spine with increases on both sides. Simple, easy, don't have to think about it. The yarn is rolled up, and I did not do it in order because I laid them out and went, I like this way. This color looks best up next to my skin, which is probably how I'm going to wear it, is wrapped around like this. And then these colors will be more tucked up, and the purple will kind of be hidden. Purple doesn't look the greatest on me if you put it next to my skin. But then that's a personal opinion. Other people say that I look great with it, but when you get down into the blues, it's just a little bit better. So pinks and blues go better with my skin. I know purple's the combination of pinks and blues, but hey, it's the truth. So I'm really happy with this, and I can't wait to get it blocked out. What I've done is just tied the 2 ends together. When I get done, I will untie each of these ends and weave them in. I did a magic loop or a magic ball in that I made it into a ball. And I'm not stopping at the edge, I'm just continuing where it is, but I will have to weave in all of those ends. And I'm okay with that. I really like the way this is coming out, and being that it's all garter stitch, it's going to be interchangeable because on both sides you have beginning and ends, but you can't tell with all the garter stitch, and this is going to stretch out very nicely. So I can't wait to wear it, and that it's an advent, and maybe I'll get it done for Easter, and that would be great. So yeah. And then I have the next advent that I have to work on. I have my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Friends, and I forget who did that one. I think it's Southern Skeins, And so I haven't even touched that. Well, I think I did a couple things on that, but I want to do that blanket out of that. And I did get the cone of yarn that goes with that. Yeah, so I haven't finished that yet. The next thing I have been working on is out of my Drops Air. I did start, oh, what is the name of this sweater? Hold on. Let's see, what is the name of this sweater? Salmon, S-A-M-M-E-N. And let's go back to the picture. Blow it up. This is from Mini Me Knit Design. Christina, I'm not going to kill her last name. You can find it on Ravelry or wherever else. But this is the pattern. And of course, I'll be wearing it over leggings. And I am past the sleeves. It is a nice, pretty pink. Got a little bit of a lilac. It's got a halo. I will be putting sleeves on. I don't know if I'm going to do full sleeves. It depends on how much I have, because I'm probably going to elongate it about another 4 inches, because I'm at the point where I'm supposed to be putting in for the pockets, and that's way too close to where my armhole is. So I will be making it about 4 to 5 inches longer before I even start the pockets. But I really like the way this is knitting up. I'm going to love wearing it next fall. It is next to Skin Soft. This yarn is, if I can grab it, one that I had made up into another sweater and I had ripped out. So that's this. I'm working off of the full skeins at the first. So this is Drops Air. And it is 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, and 7% wool. And they come, it is a spun yarn. In other words, it's an air-pushed brushed yarn. It's a chainette. It's really pretty. And this is natural lighting, so tried to do my best. I have enough that I will be, this I have to separate, that's where I'm working on the others. This is two balls, I think it's actually 4 balls that are wrapped up, but I used it 2 at a time. So I've still got to separate that, but I'm going to wait until I use up all the rest before I do that. So sorry for the crinkling, but life happens. So this is another project that I've been working on, and right now I'm in the what is it, Stockinette and Forever. I'm doing it up on 10.5 needles, of course, Chiago. Yes, they are my go-to. Do I use others? Yes, but if I have a choice, I use Chiago. They're my favorite. I think I had finished this last time we talked. Yeah, because I told you how I did the inside. This hasn't gotten nailed off yet. I have been working on my do not eat my yarn, Mr. Gnome. There we go. Hi. Real podcasting, real life. So working on my patriotic blanket from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, and I picked up cotton at the thrift store. and I have this much to go on the patriotic blanket. So I am at the point that, let's pull this so it doesn't get yanked. It's just a granny square. But I'm at the point where the pinks are starting to go into a reddy color, so that's kind of nice. You can see it, hopefully. And I'm using that blue held with throughout, and this will make a very nice lap blanket when I'm finished. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish the edge, but I may order another skein of yarn in a red to just do a lace edging on it. Talking about blankets that I have going, I am still working on my scrappy blanket, and this one is just a stripes and stripes as it goes. So as I finish up things, and I have enough right now to do a full blanket, but I've put it into this ball. And again, this is one that I have to weave in ends at the end. And I have forever yarn going. Let's see, how big's my ball? This is one that's not attached. And then I have the one that is attached somewhere. There it is. This one's still to go. So these are all leftovers that when I moved from Michigan, I put together, and I'm using a cone from Shadyside Farms. This is their Polypay and Shetland mix. 80% wool, 20% nylon. I contacted her and told her that I needed more, and she was able to get that to me. And during the time that she was able to get that to me, it was kind of surprising. It was during pandemic, and they weren't able to get more processed. I think they now have more processed, so you're able to get it. So I work off a cake and a cone, and these are coming along as I have, 10 minutes to sit down and knit with this or knit with that. And so that's what's in my bucket of stuff I've got to get done one of these days. And let me put that back in. I have more minis. I have opal minis that will be going into, I'm not sure what yet. So I have 4 bags of this. And then I have other minis in there that I just haven't decided. And then I have another advent from Anna Knits, and that's why I'm not buying. I really look at them and I'm like, oh, fear of missing out, fear of missing out. But I have ones I haven't used yet, so I'm going to do that advent for later. Last time we talked, I had started the sheer, and where you saw it is where it ended. I have not, well, I think you saw it. I don't even know if I had this much done on it, which is just with everything else going on, focusing on an all-over cable wasn't happening. Now, this is going to get done. It is going to be my Christmas sweater this year. That's why it's in my gnome bag. And this was the gnome that was eating my patriotic yarn. And this is from Elizabeth Knits. And she's with the Texas Pearled in Texas, something like that, podcast. And it's a really cute bag, really well made. I love the gnome. And I'm very happy. I think this, though, came from another friend. Might have come with this, but I'm not sure. God, it's been so long. What else am I working on? I started a project. I was watching YouTube videos, and it caught my eye on planned pooling. Of course, it caught my eye on planned pooling with yarn I didn't have. So I had to order yarn. And I had to order red heart yarn. That's not something I normally do. Now, I'm not anti-acrylic. You've seen that. I knit with all different flavors of yarn. Yeah. But the yarn I got now, Sarge loves color. Absolutely loves color. So when I saw this, which is Red Heart Super Saver in stripes, in neon stripes, and I saw this as planned pooling, and I'm like, what the what? And yes, my computer keeps bouncing because I'm on a table and it's on a pot. Anyways, so as you pull it out, you find where the end ends in that color, and it's a distinct end. It's not a faded end, it's a distinct end. And that matters. And I'm like, okay, I know Sarge wanted a blanket, and he absolutely adores all things colorful. So, uh-oh, my hook just went flying. I'm using an F-size hook, whatever that is. And you started off with a solid black on the bottom. And then you figure out how many are in each repeat. And you make sure that that repeat ends before the next repeat begins, so you don't have mixed colors. And so this is supposed to diagonally checkerboard in a way, and I mean, I can see it starting. You can see where some are going to be combined with the black and some are going to be combined with another color. And it's just pretty cool. The only thing is, it's red heart yarn and it kills my hands to work on it. But I have 4 skeins, 5 skeins, plus the black border, so it'll make up a lap. I've already gone through 1 skein here, so I may have to buy more. But I can only do it when my hands are okay, because it does kill my hands. And it is what it is. It's sitting in my VA bag because you can't do a regular yarn bag for that much yarn. No. And I don't even have the black in there because the black will be at least a 4-inch border all the way around. And I'm very happy with that. Weirdly enough, because, yeah. So the last thing I'm working on, I think, at this point in time, the last thing, because you know I have a ton of whips somewhere. But out of Cotton Blend, because I liked the hexagon cardigan so much, I decided to do out of Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend. And this is in the Chai Latte colorway. So you've got yellows and peaches and blues and grays, and it's just really pretty. I'm making up a second, and I'm on my last ball, so I just ordered 2 more balls because I want to lengthen this about 6 inches. And this is one of the hexagons, so if you pull it open and you look under the arm, you can see where the hexagon begins. And so it gets folded up kind of like an Elizabeth Zimmerman baby surprise jacket does, in that this is one side, but you make 2 hexagons. And then you add to the back, and you can see where I added and combined on the back. I did this one with a seam for more stability than just the way I did it on the top. For the sleeve, you can't tell where the joint is unless you look really closely. On the back, I just put it together so that yeah, it looks like a seam. That's fine. There's a seam on the inside too. And then I am now continuing on with the bottom and just doing granny stripes to bring it down. You can see where I'm just doing, you can see where this ended right here, and I've put 3 rows on the front and the bottom, and then I picked up just the bottom in the stripes going back and forth, and I have added 6 rows to the arm, and that's when I went, one isn't going to be long enough, because even with stretching, because I know it's going to grow some because it's cotton and acrylic, it's only to here, and I want more than just a bracelet length. So I'm going to need at least a ball to do the 2 finishing of the arms, and at least a ball to finish the bottom to where I want it to, plus I'm probably going to do cuffs and bottom just like I did for the other with the knit ribbing. And then I also, on this one, I want pockets. The other one I didn't put pockets on. That was a choice, but I wear the blue one mostly with jeans, so I have pockets. This one, I'm not sure if I'm going to throw it on over a gray dress, or if I'm gonna, I have a gray capri outfit that I could throw it on over and things like that, that it will go really well. And summertime, because it's light, it's cotton, in the evening you're gonna need something to throw on. So yeah, that's my second granny hexagon cardigan, and I think it'll be my last, but don't quote me on that, because I have a couple sisters that might see it and say, hey, I want one. So yeah. So other than Rugrats, what have I bought? So the first thing is the hook I'm using for the granny, and that is the tulip. First, it's the hook that I'm knitting on for the granny, and that is a tulip hook, and I'm using the 4.5 millimeter. And I ordered this one a while back because I'm also using this one on this is the hook I'm using with my random striped blanket. But I liked it so much. It is light, it has the perfect tip, it is very comfortable in the hand the way that I crochet. I just really like the smoothness of it. It's a little bit expensive, but I love it. So I decided to get the full set. I did pick these up off Amazon, and the full set comes in this little case, and the case came with 8 sizes, ranging from a 1.8 millimeter all the way up to a 5 millimeter, and it did not come with the 4.5. So this one will go in. Right below that is the 7, the 6, the 5, and then down to a 4. So these are all whole numbers. But the 4.5 that I have, which is a standard G size, if you're American sizes, will go right in between. Fits perfectly. Goes into the set. It came with 2 darning needles, and it came with a cute little ruler that is in centimeters. So when I can't use my handy, I can pull that out and use it. And it is made by, I think they're Etimo, and it's by Tulip. Made in Japan. I enjoy these hooks, so yeah. So I went ahead and picked that up. I hadn't bought a set of crochet hooks in a while and these, because I use this one, I would highly recommend these if you like the boy needle type. Is this tapered? I think the others are inline, and I don't care for the inline. It's got a two distinct, and the way I crochet, I tend to snag yarn with it more, so I prefer this kind. I belong to the Sweet Mountain Fiber Sock Adventure Club, and she sent out her March, and that was seed catalog. And you can hear Sarge, he's in the shower, sorry, getting out of it. This is Sweet Mountain Yarn, and this was her seed catalog. And the Sunshine Yellow with the speckles, and the seed catalog that she was talking about was the marigolds. If you look at the picture, yep, that's coming through. She sent marigold seeds. I don't know if I'm going to have them here or if we're going to wait. And then it also came with Knitter's Pride stitch markers, the plastic locking stitch markers. And it also comes with a story every month, and so that's pretty cool. And comes in a nice organza bag for when I want to get to it. Now, of course, I do the DK sock. I really like wearing DK socks. Even on my feet, most people say, oh, they're slipper socks. They're boot socks to me. They go right in my boots, and they're warm enough in the winter that I can throw them on, and I love them. So I really do look for DK sock weight. Love it. So another thing that I have picked up, I have 5 of them. I'm only showing you one. And I have never done Lope yarn. And I ordered Plata Lope. I ordered 5 plates. And this is in, I think it's in the marine colorway, ocean. Really gorgeous. So this is a plate of unspun in this marine blue. It's just gorgeous. It's got blues and a little bit of green and a little bit of gray. I mean, looks like a stormy sea. And you knit from the outside. It is unspun. So I will probably be holding this double. Depends. I haven't even decided what I'm going to knit with it. If you have an idea on what I should. Now, it's very sheepy. It smells very country. Lots of lanolin in there, but it is just gorgeous in its color, and that is coming through pretty clear. So I haven't decided what, but I have 5 plates, and it will be made up into something, and it is Plata Lope. I think it's Iztec. Let's see. Yeah, ISTEX from Iceland. It is true Icelandic wool. There's 100 grams, and there is 328 yards or 300 meters per plate. And so that is just beautiful. So that one's a little bit rustic, so we'll see how I haven't even done a swatch to decide whether I like or not, but I've been excited to use it. I wanted some haiku, and I had some that Lori and I picked up when we were down in Hot Springs in the brown colorway, and I did that Mobius, and I really didn't like it, so I ripped it out. So I have a skein of that, and I think I'm going to make up a Friday shrug in that because it is worsted weight. And I think that would make up a really pretty Friday shrug from top to bottom, just use up the whole skein. But then I found a pink going to gray, and I just had to. And while I was looking at that, because there are 400 meters in that, so that's a nice size. Saw that there were 3 skeins in this beautiful turquoise, and I'm like, that's a sweater's worth. Or a really big shawl worth. And I'm not sure which it's going to be, but it's going to be one or the other. And it's 100% baby alpaca, and it is just heavenly to touch. And I'm just so happy with the 4 skeins. Then I have that 5th that's that brown to gray. So a lot of knitting there. But of course I'm not done, because, you know, if I can't knit, I have to look at patterns and I have to, you know, buy stuff. So I got a magazine in the mail, and that was from Mary Maxim. I used to live over by the Mary Maxim store. I mean, it was just across the state, so I would go there all the time. But I have a friend of mine that absolutely adores Christmas. Her whole house is like the Griswolds threw up. And that's in the best way, and that's how she describes it. So I'm not putting her down in any way. But she had learned to crochet, I want to say 10 years ago. I helped her learn to crochet. We've known each other more than 20 years. And it didn't work out for her. She was too stressed and it was too tight. And I told her that I would finish the Afghan for her. Well, the Afghan got ruined in the process. I never finished it. I lost the book that it came from, everything else. So I was a bad friend. And she forgave me. But I found on Mary Maxim's site Santa's Ride. And Santa's Ride is a filet crochet. And let's see if I take it out of this bag, if it's easier to see. The whole pattern is here. And so it is a Afghan. I'm done with a H hook and 8 skeins of rich red in best value. And this acrylic is much better than the Red Heart. It is super soft. It reminds me of Caron Super Soft. And this red is just going to be gorgeous for her. She doesn't know what's coming. But I'm really excited to do it. And it's all done chart. And I'm not going to show you the chart, but let's see. Again, it's the reindeer and the sleigh and Santa and the moon. And then it's got snowflakes in the corners. And so I have the whole kit. And as soon as I'm done with the baby blankets, I have my masseuse that I go to. Should I say massage tech? I don't know what's proper these days. She's pregnant. And then my nail tech is pregnant. And I think after I finish that, one's getting a blanket, one's getting that little romper. And then I can start on that. Then I ordered from Lion Brand wool. And let's see if I have the pattern for it. It was really cute. Here it is. It is the Love Pullover, and I ordered the whole kit. And it's got the love on the sleeve, and so just a little bit of a color. It's just a standard top-down raglan crew neck. Let's see. There's the little hearts on the sleeves. And it came in a nice box. And I got it in, it's by Whistle and Wool. And they sent me a 2 of Wands bag. I haven't even pulled it out of the box yet. And I'm doing this sagey green. And the contrast color is this rose water. So the heart's going to be done in the rose water. And this is size 5 bulky, so it's a nice bulky sweater. But I think it's going to be really cute. And it's for me, so there's enough yarn there for that. The green without the plastic. So it's a Hue and Me. I've never used Hue and Me. I've heard that some people like it, some people don't. It's a bulky sweater with, it's just for fun. It's a sweater. It's washable. It's dryable. Is it dryable? Let's see. Yep, machine washable and dryable. So there you go. One more acquisition, and I think I'm done with acquisitions. Looking around. And this is from, no, there's another one. Maybe I hit it. This one is from the Fiber Company. And I picked up 3 skeins of Cumbria in the colorway Cat Bells. It's a gorgeous goldy ochre color. Just and came with the bag from them. And the pattern that came with that is Durango. 99% sure this is Durango. Yep. And the Fiber Company Cumbria fingering, which is 90% wool, 10% mohair, 328 yards, 3 skeins. And they did it in Buttermere, and I'm doing it in a darker color. But this Durango shawl is the one that I will be knitting in that yarn. At this point in time, that's the plan. We know how that can change. So I have some other things that I want to knit. I did pick up the Ripple jacket from whose pattern is that? Let me look. Hinternstein, and jacket to show without a ton of other things. That's something that I thought of for my hand spun. There's a possibility. So I picked up that pattern. I also have Memories of Paris Cal, and I did get the yarn. That's what I was looking around for. And that is by three by the Sea. I just don't have the yarn here, but you can see I got the exact colors that are on the screen. So that will be done sometime, probably summer knitting. And the Alchemy shawl, and I have some yarn set aside for this shawl. Let's see if I can show it bigger. This is done in Expression Fiber Arts. Lots of pictures. There we go. That'll be done out of stash yarn. It's really pretty. Kind of on a shawl kick. I got my sweaters, I got my other things. I am also working right now, and I have it in the other room, I just didn't pull it out. Scottish Highlands is a pattern that I'm working on. I pulled it out of Deep Stash, and this one is going already. And let's see, then I got a couple books, and I've been working on that, trying to figure out what I want to do with it. The first one, and this is why I said that pattern was a maybe for my yarn that I'm spinning, because I got from Melissa Leitman 6,000 pullover possibilities. And this is a really neat book. In looking through it, it is custom knitted sweaters. And so you take, what kind of arm do I want? What kind of body do I want on my sweater? So you mix and match as you go through shoulder constructions, set-in constructions, cap sleeves. And it's really neat how it does it. What kind of collar do you want? Do you want a hood? Do you want a lace collar? Do you want the crew neck? Do you want a shawl collar, a square collar? And then you have edge treatments, your ribbing or your lace or your cables or anything like that. Simple edges, non-simple edges. And then it has a few, let's put it all together and look at it pages. And so one of the very few classes I've ever taken as a knitter was from Melissa Leitman, and she has my respect. She's really good at what she does, and I haven't been led astray by a single pattern by her. And so when I saw this come out, I was like, I need to get that. And so now I'm looking, do I want to do the sweater that's already written, or do I want to do something out of here with my hand spun and do it like that? So I haven't decided yet. But if you were to get this, I mean, it's $24.95. Good purchase. The other book that I got is one that I saw it, and I saw it on a podcast, and I think it was the Happy Homemaker podcast that I saw it on, and it is Crochet Journey. And this is the only time that you're going to see it without a spiral binding, because I'm taking this in next week and getting it spiral bound. The only thing I don't like about this is as you open it and you need to, you know, go through it, I'm already having it pull apart from the binding. So I'm going to take it in and have it spiral bound. But this is by Mark Roseboom. And this cover photo, yep, that blanket's in there. And that's one of the ones I want to do. That is, I think it's called the Rainbow Subway Blanket. Right there. And so that one needs to be done. And I've also decided that this blanket called the La Vaca shawl needs to be done. Or it's a shawl, not a blanket. and very gorgeous. And in fact, I could see that with that pink done up here. Maybe. You can come out. I also want to do the Templar Cross table runner, but I think I want to do it as a blanket, not a table runner. And you can see the crosses, and I think that's really cool. It is a mosaic crochet. You gonna swing in and say hi? He waved hi from there, just out of the shower. He's good. And then there were a couple more that I really, really liked in here. I will not be doing the poof. I don't have room in my house for a poof. I do, however, like this fading light scarf. And so that's like the Northern Lights is what he based that off of. And then one of my favorite, and this is definitely getting done. I don't know if I'm going to use, I have the yarn that it calls for. Most of these call for shippages. I believe that's how you say it. Stonewashed. And I've worked with that several times and I love it. But here is the blanket. And it uses one of the mini sets. And then regular, the onyx on the outside. And I think I have 6 balls of the onyx in mine. And I know I have one of the 50 mini sets. But this is how it looks like close up. And I'm just in love with this. And I know it will be a blanket. I don't know if it'll be done this year, but I know it's one that I will be doing. And so this book, I've already mentioned 4 or 5 that I'm going to be doing out of it. So it was obviously a good purchase for the cost. I also like the Rivendell shawl that's based on Lord of the Rings. And I really like that. The cost of this one was $22.99 US, $15.99 UK, and it's Crochet Journey. I'm very pleased with this book, other than the binding, which, like I said, I'm going to take it into Office Max and get it put into a spiral. So I think that's all I have to show you. Now I have a little bit of chatter. So if you're just here for the knit and crochet, which I know this time it was pretty crochet heavy, but I'm a hooker who likes to play with needles. So there you go. It's called the high fiber diet for a reason. So what's been going on with me? The last few months were pretty stressful with changeovers at work, and I'm not going to get into that too much except to say that I'm no longer with that job. And so I have been looking for another job, and I'm learning to de-stress a little bit, and that's not a bad thing. Sarge is still with the Army, and we're working on things there. We've contemplated if we're going to stay in this area, or if we're going to move back to West Michigan, or if we're going to move to Upper Michigan, or where we're going to go. We've even thought Tennessee, Texas, but we want to be closer to where the kids are. If we're going to move, we're most likely moving back to Michigan. I've been interviewing though, and I had interviews here and remote positions as well as regular positions. So I don't know, kind of up in the air right now. So if you see me a little bit more on Instagram than what I've been in the past, that's why. And that's kind of why I took the last couple of months off, was I was so dead by the time I got home. Hour drive up, work all day, hour drive home. I was, to be able to get dinner and not just pass out on the couch was kind of amazing. We didn't I mean, we went to Vegas. We had fun. That was our 21st wedding anniversary. Met up with my brother and sister, who I haven't seen in more than 20 years. Um, that was great. Went to the Mob Museum while we were out there, met up with friends that I haven't seen in that long also. Uh, they live right there in Henderson. Tried to get over to Sin City Knits, did not get there. But if we go back, which we're thinking about going back next year, then I will get there, and or at least plan to. I like getting souvenir yarn. Instead, I got a souvenir shirt from going to Hershey's. Yes, I know some people have a problem with it. I still like chocolate, so you know, it is what it is. I don't believe in canceling, whether it's canceling somebody for politics or it's canceling somebody for something else. I buy what I want to buy, and if I don't want to buy it, I don't buy it, but I don't cancel. What else has been going on? Gandalf and Cupid are still ball chasing little puppy kitties, and they're getting big. In fact, this next week on the 5th, they turn 3 already. And it's just been an adventure with the cats. And I think Sarge is done with all of his surgeries, fingers crossed. So he is getting better. He's on the mend and much happier. So thank you for all of you who have held him up in prayer for everything that's been going on. We are going into Holy Week. Tomorrow's Palm Sunday, and the next week's Easter. So if you celebrate, please have a good Holy Week, reflection and all that. I think that's about it from here. Like I said before, if you stayed till the end, please like, subscribe, and all that other happy horse shit. Until then, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.